Childhood is a happy time, a time of laughter and gay companionship, and wonderful new experiences. But not all children live in this childhood. Some touch only the fringe and live the rest in a world of private thought. To care for physically handicapped children like these, scattered throughout northern Tasmania, St Giles' home was established in Launceston. From city, country town and farm, from as far afield as Smithton and St Helens and the islands of Bass Strait, the children come to St Giles for the specialized treatment and care they need. For many of these children, St Giles will become home for several years. Others, more severely handicapped, will remain through a long period of childhood and adolescence. Besides those who live full-time at St Giles, there are a number of day children. These are brought in each day from the city area for schooling and treatment, and returned in the evening to their own homes. Treatment plays an all-important part in reducing the disabilities of the children. Disabilities differ from child to child and must be treated individually. They range from muscular disorders and speech defects to abnormalities like a club foot or a missing limb. A number of the children are victims of polio. They must learn to walk in irons with the legs straight and to climb stairs. Daily exercises are a common part of the treatment, not only for polio, but for many of the other conditions. Intensive exercising develops muscle control and builds up tissue. In some cases, it revives muscles that have been completely out of use. A regular examination of each child is made by visiting specialists who prescribe the treatment to be given by St Giles physiotherapists. One of the oldest crippling conditions known to man is perthis. The child whose hip has become affected must be confined in this pram for a number of months. After this, he'll be put in long irons that reach to the waist. Some of the children are not crippled in the ordinary sense. There are cases of chronic asthma who must exercise to develop the chest and clear the lungs. And this little girl, for instance, must learn not to overtax her underdeveloped heart. Of the many conditions treated at St Giles, the most common is the cerebral palsy, formerly known as the spastic. Cerebral palsy affects children in different ways. Generally speaking, it means the child is unable to control certain muscles. He may make uncontrollable movements of his legs and arms. He may lack a sense of balance, or he may not be able to sit or to walk properly. Most cerebral palsies have additional handicaps of disturbed vision or defective hearing or speech. The disabilities are many, and treatment may take a long time. But with the patience and skill of physicians and therapists, the majority will eventually take their place in the world. During the years of treatment, the children must also be educated. The aim of St Giles is to fit the child as soon as possible into the local school system. To do this, the different disabilities must be taken into account, and every child given individual attention. Children more severely handicapped necessarily work more slowly, but they always progress. One of the biggest handicaps disabled children have had to fight in the past was the popular belief that they lacked intelligence. This child who needs continual support and who can't yet hold a pen can still in his own way master problems of arithmetic and expression. The physically disabled child is in fact no different from normal children, sometimes even of superior intelligence. Before a child can learn to write, it is necessary to coordinate muscle movements in the hands. The bigger arm movements also needed for writing are developed in the art lessons. Painting is one of the few ways in which the children in the early years can express themselves. A sense of frustration is very real to these little people, who are sometimes intensely aware of the limitations forced upon them by their handicaps. But one thing they can do, and do with great gusto, is to leap into the heated swimming pool. The pool not only serves to exercise their limbs, but gives the children happy freedom from straps and irons. Most of the children, with the aid of voluntary helpers, have learned to swim, a big achievement for a handicapped child. It's a long and full life for the children. Even the mealtime marks only a brief spell in the day's activities. And if we hurry, there might be time for a quick game before the afternoon begins. The problem of the handicapped child is not only a physical one, but often an emotional one as well. The child who is aware that he is different from others may easily develop strong feelings of insecurity. Love and understanding do much to counter this. The children are encouraged to take part in activities which will give them a sense of achievement. Group activities also help, particularly dramatic work. In this, the children learn to overcome their self-consciousness in the presence of strangers. Singing lessons, too, help bring the child out of his isolation and encourage the idea of working together with others. Creating an atmosphere of a normal, happy home is essential for these children, so long absent from their own homes. They spend their leisure time as they wish, and they make the most of it, particularly at the weekend. The day must be planned carefully, because it's their own day, and they can do what they jolly well like. These youngsters learn to take their disabilities as a matter of course. Handicapped though they are, they want not pity, but acceptance as ordinary, normal children. There are many things, ordinary little events, which these young people miss out on. Yet they create for themselves, from their imagination, their own experiences and adventures. Adventures which often call for a bath in the evening. Bedtime is a big event for most. Dressing and undressing can be quite a task, and it doesn't always mean freedom from irons. Some of the children will have them for many years. But with their irons, there goes a determination to persevere. Whatever help they receive, recovery will depend largely upon their own efforts. And that is the purpose of St Giles, to give them not only treatment and education, but an attitude of mind and a disposition of character that will enable them to make the most of their lives.